whole concept of ruling over the masses. We can't have the masses being intelligent. We can't have the masses having knowledge. So anything that represents knowledge or enlightenment has got to be considered evil.
Yeah.
And that's just,
well, you keep people in fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Fear is the best way to rule over anybody. So
what's the quickest?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like red alerts and terror attacks and
Yes.
right around election time and
Well, it boils down to the two emotions that we've got in this meat suit this lifetime is the love and the fear. And if you can tap into that with anybody, into their fear and their greatest fears and stuff like that, then you have them looking to you for help.
Right.
And
well, Y2K was a perfect example.
the
you know,
2012 is going to be another one.
And that, yes, and it just blows me away that people are just so quick to believe the media and all the hype and really all the BS.
And it's the media, because you watch people talking about it, at least we're talking in subjects that we have a clue about. It's like watching these reporters and stuff talking on 2012. They don't have a clue.
Like tape up your windows, like, you know, remember that one?
They were talking about the Y2K. And you've got these people coming on, these reporters, that I would venture to say couldn't turn on a computer, let alone know what Y2K was going to do to databases and analysis systems that were out there.
Right.
You know, Unix programmers were all over it, you know, years before.
Yeah,
and it's
well, even me, and I mean, I'm just your average intelligence person, a computer retard, and I'm like, you write a program for it, how hard is that? It's not like it's, oh, we've only got 6 months.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like they didn't know the time. I'm looking at people going, really? Are you taking money to the bank? Are you doing? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You write a program for it. You tell me that they're not going to, they haven't been working on it.
We're in South Florida here. You do what you always do. You go out and buy all the canned goods. That's what you do. And you tape up your windows. Bottled water, and you tape up your windows.
Well, I wanted to mention this book because it's an excellent book on the topic of Lucifer.
Now, was Lucifer an angel?
Yes, there was considered to be an angel named Lucifer, yes.
I like his little wings on fire.
Yeah. But again, it's a big long story that we probably have to do a whole show on, as far as like that whole concept and what is said versus what probably really happened, if any of it happened at all. I mean, this is all speculation and myth and conjecture, so I know there's some basis of truth to the story, as there always is. But you got to kind of take
religion based on that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. All religion is myth anyway. So, sorry, but that's not a bad thing. It's
direct
an archetype.
all comments to Reverend J.
Yeah. Well, it's it's an archetype basis. We base everything off of the 12 archetypes of the zodiac. Okay. Yes. And if you look at it in some form or fashion, every religion is based off of the 12 signs of the zodiac, even Judaism.
Yeah.
So in turn, Christianity is as well.
Well, it is because they use a star,
right,
in Christianity for the birth of Christ.
Exactly.
It's a star that directs everybody to the right place. So that's all about the stars.
But I guarantee you that those stories are a lot older than 3,500 years old.
Oh yeah, easy.
So you know, this stuff has just been passed down and it's been changed and altered and became this and became that. So that's why when you look back across history at all the mythologies, you have so many characters that are similar.
Yeah.
You know, they each come into play in each of the mythos.
Yeah.
So who's to say what the original story was, or if any of it happened physically, or if it's just always been this thing that we've carried through humanity. But this book right here, The Secret History of Lucifer, is an excellent read. It kind of goes through all of that. It's by Lynn Picknett, which I enjoy pretty much all of her books. So she's a great author to take a look at if you've got an open mind and want to read some of the
well, what does it say in this book? What is her take on it? Well,
her take is that he's like I said, he's a character that's been through a lot of different mythos. She touches on the angel part of it. She touches on, like, the main thing that she touches on is that for every extremely positive character, there has to be an extremely negative character, you know, and vice versa. So she kind of goes into the fact that it's all about the balance thing, you know, and that God and Lucifer go back and forth. At one time, one's evil, and one time the other one's good, and they swap sides from time to time.
Yin and yang.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is pretty much what this dimension kind of is, isn't it? I mean, have.
Well, it has to be. It absolutely has to be. You can't be in the physical dimension and not have polar opposites, because if you didn't, the physical dimension wouldn't exist.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the very nature of the physical dimension, is polar opposites.
Because not every dimension is like that, correct?
No, not every dimension is.
No.
This one specifically is, because it's that's what coalesces energy into matter
Yeah.
as we experience it. It's
Yeah.
what makes the Matrix work.
And the Force, Luke. And the
Yes.
Force.
But, so anyway, that's a really good book. I can't believe it, but it came out in 2005. I was shocked when I read that, because I remember being excited when this came out, running out and buying it and reading it, and then giving it to Martin to read.
Yeah.
And it's hard to believe that that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our next topic.
Our next topic is time seems to be speeding up.
That's a segue.
Sun slipping.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm getting older.
Because I did ask that.
Everybody, now granted, that is part of it for everyone. As you get older, time seems to be speeding up, and it's not just a specific age group that seems to be experiencing it. I recently saw my 19-year-old cousin, and she hadn't seen us in 2 years, and she didn't believe it had been 2 years since she'd seen us.
Yeah.
So my parents have noticed it. Everybody seems to be noticing that, and specifically to me, now this is my opinion, it seems like it has really started to speed up ever since 911. That shifted something, the energy, and that ever since then, years have seemed to progressively get shorter. And what I mean by shorter is you seem to get less and less done.
Yeah.
Now,
Even though we have all this computer technology to give us more free time, nobody seems to have it.
Well, even on the computer technology, it takes me a lot longer to get anything done than it used to on the computer.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, I remember I could get up in the morning, take a shower, go to work, come home, read a book, go see a movie, all this stuff that I could get done in a day.
Yeah.
And, I didn't ever seem like I had an issue for trying to get things done,
I agree.
Now, when I'm at work, I can't believe how slow time is. It's like I have busted my behind, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's been 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well, and everybody that goes to work at a job like that experiences it. Now, with me, I work from home, and I don't experience that. Time goes by so quick, I can't get anything done.
I can't. Well, a perfect example, like I was telling you, is that since our son crossed, I have no concept of time, really.
Right.
And I mean, the fact that it's been almost 2.5 years, it seems like 2.5 months.
Well, with me, I've always had a bizarre concept of time anyway. Being a Time Lord.
Cue music.
Cue targets in the background.
Now, but lately, I think it has been speeding up because of a lot of the work that I do. And I'm noticing even my computer clocks aren't in sync.
Absolutely.
Like they were anymore.
No, you discussed that.
If you open your little clock on your computer, the second hand part of it, I have noticed lately that if you open that up and you watch the second hand, it'll go like tick, 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 like, so there's something weird going on there. If it's accurately recording, then there's obviously something.
Yeah, that
weird.
might be, let's get out there for the geeks. It might just be the animation.
It could be the animation.
But the bottom line is the overall picture.
Right.
Is whether you find some days slow at work or not.
The weird thing
overall,
is, I have seen the same effect happen on a wristwatch with a second hand, a physical second hand. I've seen the same thing happen.
I'm seeing it with, quartz.
Yeah.
It's anything to do with natural energy, natural crystals and stuff like that, that there is a vibrational shift because we are moving through the universal equator of the galaxy, and we're going to notice these shifts.
Now, what were you going to say?
Because you guys had talked about this before, and didn't you say that there was something where they measure time and it's a little bit off, or there's some kind of device that, whatever the powers that be in science?
Well, that's actually not time, but mass.
Mass.
Okay.
Mass has gotten greater.
Okay, that's, which is probably a whole other conversation.
Figure out.
Yeah, they're doing.
Well, it's connected because the more massive something is, the quicker time moves. Okay, now this is scientific fact. This isn't woo-woo. If you have a time clock, 2 time clocks that are identical, and you have one of them sitting on the lowest part of the Earth, and you sit them at the exact same time, and you take the other one, you put it in orbit, or you put it way up high, still in the atmosphere even. The clock that is up high will gain time to the clock that is on the Earth, because the more massive an object is, the faster that time moves on that. So